came in the United States, I was 20 years ago. I wasn't speaking English at all. I had a dream in mind. All I wanted to do was have a doctorate degree, always. Now, time passed by. It took me 15 years to have that doctorate degree. And I went through everything that it takes, from not speaking English, being bullied, having F on my transcript, and I had 2 of them on my transcript. I'm not ashamed of that. But my destination was reached. And then I was working out with friends of mine, and I was flexing up and saying I reached my goal. And what I noticed was that a lot of them, immigrant, international students coming here, they were taking medication, depression medication. And I had a friend of mine who had 3 kids with 3 women different. He couldn't handle the stress of life. So he was taking medication. One of them, another one, John, he couldn't speak English. He dropped out of school. Another one, he has to kill his wife because she got Americanized, use the language, and she decided to divorce. And all those things going on, and seeing all of my friends coming from overseas like me, they were failing. And I was like, okay, I succeeded. Now, can you help them? Can you help them? So until that point, I was just living a life of quiet desperation. I didn't have a purpose at all. I did not. Now, looking at those people with no goal, they didn't have that mental strength, I had to help them. So I decided to, and I was telling them all the time, I said, you have to be resilient. But I was making the mistake that a lot of coaches make in sport, because they tell athletes, you have to relax, but they don't teach them the process of relaxation. And that's exactly what I want to do, to teach the process of relaxation in education and this mental strength. Now, the first thing that we do, and Dr. Whitaker started with that yesterday, that was Dr. Garcia Whitaker. Yesterday, she was talking about failure. That is the starting point. And I believe Lori today talked about that as well. Consider failure as a gift. That should be the starting point to get to your destination. So we start with failure first. You fail, you have to fail. I don't care who you are, you will go through that in life. I don't care who you are, including the person sitting in your chair right now, you have to go through that. You have to start with failure first. And if you notice the story of all the people that were here yesterday, Dr. Tsunami, Lorraine, and Garcia, and Lorea Harrell as well, who had the broken tip, everything, they all start with failure. And failure doesn't always have to be like in business, investing money and failing. No, it can be a setback. It can be a disease, an accident. It can be something like that. We all have to start with that. Now, when failure is there, and this is the difference between the people that succeed and who fail. The people who fail and take medication, once they fail, they stay down. The difference with the people that get back up, they remember their why. Why? And then once you remember your why, and this is what the why does to you, it reminds you your purpose. It's like, imagine you coming into this room, and as you're getting ready to sit in that chair, you feel like a nail, a pen with the sharp up, and then you sit on it. What do? You jump back up. And that's what the why does. It reminds you, hey, get up. Why are you doing that? Why did you engage into that first? That's what it does to you. And once you remember your why, you bounce back. You bounce back. And once you do that, and it can only be once. You have to fail once, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, keep going. Does that sound familiar with the story of 7 Up? Started 1 up, fell, 2 up, fell, 3 up, 4, 5, 6, 7 up, and we have 7 up. Now, what it does is that it builds those mental muscle, to get used to failure, in the sense that when it happens again, you are not surprised by that. And it's in that building process that you become resilient. So resilience is not something that comes ex nihilo, out of nothing. No, it's a movement. It's not an event. It's a process that starts with failure. You remember your why, your purpose, you bounce back, and then you become resilient. So it's a process. Now, my question is this. For those people that have never failed, and we all have those moments like where everything is going right. The marriage is working, the business is working, the kids are acting right, everything goes well. And all of a sudden, like, life just happened. Like you're walking, and then you hear a slap, and then you turn your head. What is that? And as you turn your head, you look over here, and you hear another slap here, and then you turn your head. You don't see anyone. And that's life calling you and say, hey, You're not going anywhere. I'm here. My name is life. Take me along with you. We have to go together. That's life. And that's the life is what happens to you when you expect the least. Every other thing that works well, that's joy. But life is meant to be hard. So we have to get used to that idea. We have to embrace failure and move along with that. Now, for those people who have never failed, I said, if you have never failed, if you have never been in trouble, you are in serious trouble in life. You are in serious trouble. And I always say this, the worst thing for a human being is to think and believe that the bad things can only happen to other people. No. If it happens to me, it can happen to you, it can happen to her, it can happen to... So we have to get ready, and we have to set our mind to accept failure. So, because it's going to happen no matter what. Either you want it or not, it's going to happen. Now, knowing that it's going to happen, what do? Someone said this morning, you have to seek for that. Brad Pritchard wrote the book, U Squared, Seek Failure. You have to go through that. Now, if you are in this room and you've never been in trouble, I suggest something. Get in trouble. Like, do something bad. Like, on your way back tomorrow, like you just, if you're driving, just, on the road of 45 miles an hour, just drive 95. Just drive, go. And if you get pulled over, just slap the police off, just slap him. And why? I'm looking for trouble. Just so you need to feel that adrenaline. Your heart rate goes up. Your blood pressure jumps high. You need to feel that. The reality is when you go through this journey called life, no failure, no setback, no challenge, no, there's something missing. It's like eating food without salt. Like there's something missing. And you know that you have to have that in life. You know it. You have to fail. You have to fail in life. So we have to welcome that. We have to welcome failure. I'm not saying that I wish that people failed. No, I don't wish that. But we have to make that part of the process because it's inevitable. We have to move along with it. It's called life. Now, at this point, I'm asking, but why should we wait till tonight before we get in trouble when we drive home? We can do it now. Why put off tomorrow or tonight what we can do now, here? And who knows about that acronym now? No opportunity wasted. So we are here. How about we seize this opportunity to get in trouble? Okay, so do me a favor, please. Just look at your neighbor, raise your arm, look at your neighbor, and just say, I'm getting ready to get in trouble. So I will count from 1 to 3, and when I get to 3, I need you to slap your... No, it's a joke. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's a joke. But to finish here tonight, I would say we are here today because of resilience. It's not an event. It's a process. LOSD today is the result of that. Yeah. Dr. Usmani, losing the vision, half of the body, artificial, and failing again. We saw the case of, who else yesterday? All the story, Garcia, Dr. Garcia, who was yesterday, she told her story. Dr. King, everyone fails. We hear that. But we are here because of one person who was resilient. And that's what resilience does. Now, if Dr. Usmani was ready here to get together here, people from 35 countries, that's one person doing it. Just think about what each of us can do. Sharing ideas, being resilient. But we cannot take off the road, off the way, the fact that failure, we have to avoid it. We cannot avoid it. So if you're here, you never failed, get used to it, look for trouble, because that's the starting point to take you to that destination. And don't avoid failure. Do not avoid it. And it becomes behavior for certain people because they want to avoid it. And someone said, you don't change a behavior by dodging it, by running away from it, but you change a behavior by putting in place a new behavior that rendered the old one obsolete. So just avoid it. Just go to it. Seek for trouble. Just do it. Now, my time is up. Let me get out of here because I get in trouble. Thank you all.
Way to go.
Thanks.